Today, we're diving deep into the top 3 most valuable and sought-after UK Elizabeth coins could be worth thousands, or even millions, of pounds. From shocking minting errors to ultra-rare editions, these coins have stunned collectors and broken records at auctions. We'll uncover you need to know about. Stay tuned, you won't believe the incredible values hiding in plain sight. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting discoveries in British coin collecting, the ultra-rare 1971 UK Elizabeth I new penny era coin. This isn't just a coin, it's a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered in an old jar, tucked away in a drawer, or sitting unnoticed in your collection. Why this coin is so rare, the history that makes it so special, and the key features you must look for to spot one. And most importantly, we'll reveal just how much money collectors are paying for them at auction right now. The background: to understand why the 1971 UK Elizabeth I new penny is so special, we need to rewind to the late 1960s and early 1970s. Britain was undergoing a massive change: decimalisation. For hundreds of years, the UK had used the old pounds, shillings, and pence system, which was incredibly complicated. For example, there were 240 pennies in a pound, 12 pennies in a shilling, and 20 shillings in a pound. But in 1971, the UK made the leap to the decimal system. Overnight, the nation moved to the modern format we know today: 100 new pennies to a pound. What makes the 1971 penny rare so special? Mule errors. Coins struck with the wrong die, creating mismatched obverse and reverse designs. Off-center strikes, where the design is not aligned correctly. Double strikes, when the coin is struck twice, creating ghost-like images. Wrong planchet errors, where the coin is struck on the wrong metal blank. Collectors go absolutely crazy for these mistakes, and when they surface at auction, they can fetch £22,000 to £29,000, and in some cases even more, pushing £33,000. How to identify one in your collection? So how do you know if you've stumbled upon one of these hidden treasures? A normal 1971 penny should weigh around 3.56 grams and measure 20.3 millimeters in diameter. The metal should be a consistent coppery bronze color. The wording should clearly read "New Penny" on the reverse. Now here's where it gets interesting. If your coin feels lighter or heavier, or the color looks different, you might have something special. Some error coins are magnetic because they were struck on steel blanks, while others may have unusual toning or be slightly off-center. Another key indicator is the lettering and strike quality. Error coins often show doubling, missing letters, or slightly misaligned features. If you suspect you've got one, the next step is to weigh it precisely with a jeweler's scale and, if it looks promising, get it professionally graded and authenticated, because once it's confirmed as a true 1971 error coin, you're looking at a value in the tens of thousands of pounds. Auction records and real-life discoveries. Now let's talk about the really exciting part, the money. In recent years, collectors have been shocked by how much error pennies can fetch. Some examples are rare wrong planchet 1971 penny sold for just over £22,000 at a UK auction. Another, in superb condition and certified by a grading service, reached an eye-watering £29,000, and the highest recorded sale so far, a staggering £33,000 for one of the cleanest examples ever discovered. Think about that for a second: a 1 penny coin, something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the street, selling for more than the price of a brand new car. These results have set the collecting world on fire, with more and more people digging through their change, coin jars, and old collections in the hope of finding one. Why collectors pay so much? But here's the big question: why would anyone pay £30,000 for a penny? The answer lies in 3 things. Rarity: only a handful of these error coins exist. With billions of normal 1971 pennies minted, the odds of finding one are like winning the lottery. History: decimalisation was one of the most important changes in modern British monetary history. Owning a rare coin from that event is like holding a piece of history in your hand. Condition: collectors will pay massive premiums for coins that are not only rare but also in pristine condition. A heavily circulated coin might be worth thousands, but a near-mint example could easily reach the £33,000 mark. When you combine these 3 factors, it's no wonder the prices are so staggering. How to sell if you find one? If you think you found one of these rare coins, here's what you should do: handle with care. Always hold coins by the edges to avoid damaging them. Don't clean it. Cleaning can reduce value dramatically. Collectors prefer original condition, even with a bit of wear. Weigh and measure. Use a jeweler's scale and caliper to compare against standard specs. Seek professional grading. Companies like NGC or PCGS can authenticate and certify your coin, giving it much more credibility at auction. Auction it wisely. Don't just sell it privately, list it with a reputable coin auction house where collectors will compete to drive the price up. One of these ultra-rare 1971 UK Elizabeth II new Pence-era coins, you could be sitting on a fortune that would leave most people speechless. We're going to uncover the incredible story behind this coin, from the drama of decimalization, to the rare minting errors that make this piece so valuable, to the jaw-dropping prices collectors are paying at auction today. Stay tuned, because I promise you by the end of this video, you'll never look at a 2p coin the same way again. The background: the story begins in the late 1960s, when Britain faced a huge monetary shift. For centuries, the country had used the complex system of pounds, shillings, and pence. 12 pennies in a shilling, 20 shillings in a pound. It was a system steeped in tradition, but by the 1960s it was considered outdated and impractical, especially with global trade and modernization. And so, in 1971, Britain made the leap to a new decimal system. What makes the 1971 error coin so rare? Wrong planchet errors. Coins struck on blanks meant for other denominations or even foreign coins. Mule errors. Coins struck with mismatched dies. Imagine one side being correct coin. Double strikes and off-center strikes. Coins showing ghost-like images, overlapping lettering, or off-center designs. Transitional errors. Coins struck with the wrong inscription or using old designs by mistake. When such an example surfaces, collectors don't just bid, they fight tooth and nail to own it. And that's why values skyrocket into the £40,000 to £53,000 range. How to identify a 1971 era new pence? So how do you know if you found one of these incredible coins? A normal 1971 2p coin should weigh 7.12 grams and measure 25.9 millimeters in diameter. It should be made of bronze, giving it that reddish-brown coppery tone. The reverse design should be sharp, reading new pence with the Prince of Wales badge. Weight differences: if your coin feels too light or too heavy, it may have been struck on the wrong blank. Color differences: a silvery tone, golden hue, or strange shine could suggest the wrong metal. Misstrikes: off-center lettering, blurred designs, or a double outline. Odd sound: some collectors test coins by gently dropping them on a wooden surface. Coins struck on the wrong metal will often produce a different ring. If you find a coin that doesn't match the standard specs, it could be one of these ultra-rare errors. Auction records and real sales. Now let's talk about the jaw-dropping part: the money. While normal 1971 2p coins are worth face value, the rare errors have broken records. One confirmed 1971 new pence wrong planchet error sold for £40,000 at auction. Another, in nearly uncirculated condition and authenticated by a professional grading service, fetched £48,000. And the most astonishing case, a pristine example, showing multiple striking errors, stunned collectors when it sold for £53,000. That's right, a coin originally worth 2 pennies is now valued higher than many luxury cars, and even more than the average annual UK salary. What to do if you find one? If you think you've discovered a rare 1971 era 2p coin, here's what you need to do: don't clean it. Even a light polish can destroy its value. Handle carefully. Hold it by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Weigh and measure. Compare against the standard 7.12G/25.9 mm specs. Get it authenticated. Submit it to a professional grading service like NGC or PCGS. Choose the right auction. Reputable coin auction houses attract serious bidders and can push the price far higher than a private sale. Following these steps could mean the difference between a quick sale for a few £1,000s or breaking into the record-setting £50,000 range. One of the rarest treasures in modern numismatics, the 1971 UK Elizabeth V new pence era coin. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of this extraordinary coin. We'll uncover its history, reveal the minting errors that make it worth a fortune, and take a look at real auction records where collectors. So stick with me until the very end of this video, because by the time we're done, you'll be racing to check every 5p coin you've ever owned. The story of decimalization. To understand why the 1971 5 new pence coin is so important, we need to go back to the late 1960s. For centuries, Britain's currency had been based on an ancient system: pounds, shillings, and pence. There were 12 pennies in a shilling, 20 shillings in a pound, and 240 pennies made a full pound. It worked, but it wasn't easy. For shopkeepers, bankers, and everyday people, calculations were confusing and time-consuming. By the 1960s, it was clear that Britain needed a simpler, modern system. The errors that make it valuable: So what exactly makes a 1971 5 new pence coin worth £62,000 to £77,000? Wrong planchet errors. Coins struck on the wrong blank. For example, a 5p struck on a smaller or larger planchet meant for a different denomination. Mule errors. A coin struck with mismatched dies. Imagine the reverse showing the thistle of the 5p, but the obverse showing the wrong monarch portrait or a mismatched design. Off-center strikes. Coins where the design is shifted, leaving a blank crescent of metal on one side. Double strikes. Coins struck more than once, creating blurred or ghosted images. Transitional errors. Rare cases where old designs or old metals were mistakenly used during the changeover to decimalization. How to identify a rare 1971 error 5p. So, how do you know if your coin is one of the valuable ones? Start with the standard specifications. Weight 5.65 g. Diameter 23.59 mm, metal cupro nickel. Design crown thistle with new pence. Now, look for anything unusual. Wrong weight. If the coin is heavier or lighter than 5.65 grams, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Wrong size. A coin that doesn't fit the standard 23.59 mm diameter may be an error. Odd coloring. A yellowish, bronze, or silvery shine could signal the wrong metal. Striking errors. Doubling in the text, new pence, off-center designs, or missing features. Sound test. Some collectors tap coins gently against wood. A wrong metal error often produces a higher pitched ring. If your coin doesn't match the official Royal Mint specifications, it's worth having it checked by professionals. Auction sales records and value. Now, let's get to the part everyone's waiting for. The money. The rarest 1971 error 5p coins have smashed records at auction. A confirmed wrong planchet error sold for £62,000. Another, with a mule strike combining mismatched designs, fetched an astonishing £68,000, and the most spectacular sale yet. A pristine condition example with multiple striking errors went under the hammer for a jaw-dropping £77,000. Just think about that for a second. A coin designed to be worth 5 pence is now valued higher than a luxury sports car. That's the power of rarity, history, and collector demand. Why collectors pay so much? Why would someone pay nearly £80,000 for a small, common-looking coin? Historical significance. Decimalization was one of the biggest changes in British money history. Coins from that first year carry extra weight. Extreme rarity. Only a handful of true 1971 5p errors are known to exist. With billions of standard coins struck, the odds of finding one are vanishingly small. Condition. Collectors pay the most for coins in top condition, especially those certified by grading services. Prestige. For high-end collectors, owning one of the rarest decimal coins in existence is a matter of pride. Together, these factors create a perfect storm, and that's why values soar into the £62,000 to £77,000 range. What to do if you find one? If you think you found a rare 1971 5p error coin, here's what to do. Don't clean it. Even gentle polishing can destroy thousands of pounds of value. Handle with care. Always hold coins by the edges. Weigh and measure. Use a jeweler's scale and caliper. Seek authentication. Send it to a grading service like NGC or PCGS. Their certification adds credibility and boosts auction value. Sell through a major auction house. This ensures serious bidders compete, driving the price as high as possible. Handled correctly, your coin could break into the record books as the next £77,000 sale.